Welcome to Sandwiches of History. Today is International Sandwich Sunday and we're headed down to Mexico for the Torta Ahogada. Now this originated in Guadalajara and I found a recipe for pretty much everything in the sandwich at stellaandspice.com. She has a recipe for bread, refried beans, carnitas, 2 salsas, pickled red onions, but here's the deal. I don't have the time to do all that right now. My day job's popping off, so I'm going to do a little bit of a shortcut. First of all, the bread. It's Birote Salado, and it's sourdough, and it took her 3 years to develop a recipe, and she says it's for intermediate bakers. I'm not that, so I'm going to take her suggestion and use a French baguette instead. I'm also not going to make the carnitas or the refried beans from scratch because both of those take a fair amount of time to do. I did procure some from an authentic Mexican restaurant down the street from me called Las Cazuelas, but I am going to make the pickled red onions and the 2 salsas that we need, and then we'll make the sandwich. Alright, so first thing we have to do is make some pickled red onions. So to thinly sliced red onion, we add salt and lime juice. Get that mixed together, let it sit on the counter for 2 hours, then put in the fridge. Alright, to make our tomato salsa, we add to boiling water Roma tomatoes, onion, garlic, peppercorns, and bay leaf, and cook that for about 15 minutes or until the tomatoes are softened. Now we add the solids to a blender and add in oregano, Mexican oregano, salt, cumin, and vinegar. Then we walls it on up. Now we strain it into a bowl, but keep the solids because you can use them for something else. Next, we add in about a half cup of chicken broth, and now we cook that in a frying pan with some oil for a few minutes. For our spicy salsa, we now boil chili de arbol, onion, and garlic for about 15 minutes. Now we put the solids in a blender and add a half a cup of the liquid that it was boiling in, and vinegar. Then walls that up. And now we strain that, keeping the solids for another use. So the Birote Salado, like I mentioned, is a sourdough, so this is also a sourdough baguette. First thing we gotta do, spread on refried beans on the bottom. Now we put in our carnitas, which is of course pork butt or shoulder, cooked in its own fat and then crisped up. Now we're to pour over top our tomato salsa so that it pools all around the sandwich. And top that with our spicy salsa. Cut it in half and was fixing to taste it, and then I realized I forgot the pickled onions. Okay, let's give this Torta Ahogada a go. I mean, you got the richness of the refried beans, that fall apart delicious pork, the bright tangy acidity of the pickled onions, and then those 2 salsas. One is just bringing a nice tomato savoriness base to it, and the other is decidedly spicier, but both are delicious. Yeah, I don't feel compelled to plus this up at all. It feels like a really well-balanced sandwich between the acidity of the pickled onions, the savoriness of the pork and the beans, and of course the 2 salsas. It's a tasty sandwich. You could add stuff to it. You could add avocado, but I think that just kind of throws things off. This is tasty as is. So yeah, 10 for me. Thanks to Stella for sharing this. Go to stellaandspice.com and check her out. She's got lots of great Mexican recipes. And yeah, I'm going to finish this, take a nap, and I'll see you tomorrow.